Here we're going to solve one of these combined inequalities. That's where they're giving us the inequality with two inequality signs in it. And we're going to solve this by getting the x isolated in the middle, not on the left, but in the middle. So the first thing we do is stare at the middle and ask, what shall we do first? Shall we get rid of the coefficient 3? Shall we move over the negative 1? And the answer is isolate the x term first. So we're going to get rid of the negative 1. Add 1, not to both sides, but to all three regions. There are three regions here. So add 1 to all three regions, and we end up with negative 3, bring down less than or equal to 3x in the middle. That's all that's left. Bring down less than 6. Okay, now stare in the middle again. What do we need to do now? We need to eliminate the coefficient x. We do that by dividing, not both sides, but all three regions. Divide all three regions by positive 3. Since we're dividing by a positive number, we're not flipping the inequality. Now we get negative 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. Oh, I'm sorry, that's just less than 2. My bad. I all of a sudden had an equal portion appear there. That should just say less than 2. So that's a mistake, and it's going to propagate into the rest of the problem. So you'll just have to remember, it's just less than 2. So set notation, all curly, we have a curly set bracket, all real numbers x such that negative 1 is less than or equal to x is less than 2, not less than or equal, just less than. And then next we have the graph notation, and of course I called it interval incorrectly. This is the graph notation. Put the negative 1 and the larger number 2, shade everything in between 1 and 2. We're going to have a boxy bracket on the left, but a round bracket on the right, which I didn't do properly. That should be a round bracket. And finally, the interval notation, which I wrote as graph, it should say interval, is boxy bracket negative 1, comma, and then 2 with a round bracket, not a boxy bracket at the end.